You want to support Roland Martin Unfiltered? Be sure to join our Bring the Funk fan club. Every dollar that you give to us supports our daily digital show. There's only one daily digital show out here that keeps it black and keep it real. As Roland Martin Unfiltered. Support the Roland Martin Unfiltered daily digital show by going to RolandMartinUnfiltered.com. You can make this possible. All right, folks, today in Congress, they debated the GOP bill on police reform being offered up by Senator Tim Scott. Senator Kamala Harris, she spoke about calling it inadequate and how it does not meet the immediate needs of the moment. Here's what she had to say.
I will say, we cannot answer their demands with this Republican attempt to obstruct real progress and real justice in our country. And for all of the pundits out there that want to entertain a conversation about whether Democrats actually want police reform, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? We are responding to the cries in the street. We are taking them seriously. And we have proposed a prescription that actually responds to not just their demands, but the specific cases and the bodies that have just most recently been buried, much less the generations of black bodies that have been buried because of this issue. So don't anyone dare suggest we are standing in the way of progress. Let us all be clear about what is happening in the politics of this moment. The Republican bill has been thrown out to give lip service to an issue with nothing substantial in it that would actually save or would have saved any of those lives. So let's not be distracted from the task at hand. I intend to vote against a motion to proceed tomorrow. I also intend to vote for a motion to proceed with real reform. I'm not against a motion to proceed. We should proceed. As a former prosecutor, I will also say, we often in the criminal justice system talk about and use this phrase, accountability and consequence. We use it all the time. Accountability and consequence. There must be accountability and consequence. And almost every time that phrase is invoked, it is directed at the person who was arrested. And hardly ever is that phrase directed at the very system itself and the actors in that system. Where is the accountability and consequence when a system fails the people it is designed to protect?
Well, that was one particular moment where Senator John Cornyn got his ass handed to him by Senator Kamala Harris. Watch this.
Well, Senator Cornyn, you and I both serve, and we are honored to serve on the Senate Judiciary Committee, as does Senator Booker, Senator Durbin. We all serve on the Judiciary Committee. The two Senate authors of this bill serve with you on the Senate Judiciary Committee. As you know, because we've been present together during our most recent hearings, we have asked that there would be a meaningful discussion of the Justice and Policing Act in that committee. None has occurred. So if we're going to talk about process, let us look at all the tools that are available to well-intentioned, well-meaning legislators if the goal is actually to solve and address the issue at hand. I've seen no evidence of that. I've seen no evidence of, in fact, what I've seen reading some of the newspapers, sometimes they get things wrong, but if they got it right, the Senate leader said that he has no interest in engaging in that kind of discussion or debate before putting the bill on the floor for a vote tomorrow.
Madam President, may I ask one last question of the Senator? What I'm trying to fathom, Madam President, is why the Senator would rather have these negotiations occur behind closed doors as opposed to here on the floor of the Senate for the American people to see broadcast on television. Don't you think that sort of interaction and debate and negotiation out in front of all 330 million Americans would be beneficial to healing our country and coming to some consensus about what the appropriate reforms should be?
Indeed, that is the beauty of the Judiciary Committee. Our meetings are public meetings.
Ooh. Amisha, talking about a smackdown. That is the point of the committee. The point of the committee is actually for you to go back and forth, and before you advance it to the floor, you have the debate. I'm trying to understand why that's so hard.
No, Roland, you definitely hit the nail on the head there, and I think that she did as well, because at the end of the day, the Republicans don't understand who they are trying to target and who they're playing with when they're coming after someone like Kamala Harris. She knows the rules inside and out. She is poised. She is ready. And Cornyn was trying to play some dirty tricks to win political points for Republicans, and she would not let him have it. These are not meetings that are held in the darkness of night. These are not meetings that are not public. So she has been very, very open about everything that's going on. And to her credit, I think that she definitely has a full understanding of why it's important that the public have the acknowledgement of the work she's doing, but also what the Republicans are trying to do in terms of restraining and trying to piecemeal and not pass actual real legislation that reforms police brutality and excessive use of force in this country.
Looks like first of all, we're having some issues. I know we're having some issues with our stream on YouTube, and so we just want to let folks know that. What I don't seem to understand, Malik, is, first of all, if you're Republicans in the Senate, then if you're Democrats in the House, aren't you supposed to actually negotiate it in your chambers, and then, as opposed to say, well, fine, we'll just pass it, and then we'll just go to conference? I mean, can't you actually do that?
Sure you can. But unfortunately, I didn't get a sense of what it is that the Senator Harris is objecting to about the Republican bill. I'm sitting here looking at a list of things, trying to figure out what is it that the senator would have a problem with. Does she have a problem with the government withholding funding for units without the ban on chokeholds? Does she have a problem with the body cameras that are mentioned there, the database for police records, making federal lynching a crime, making lynching a federal crime?
Well, actually, hold on. First of all, you bring it up. Hold on. You bring up lynching. Malik. You bringing up lynching. She's a co-sponsor of the bill, so she's not objecting to that.
Well,
she's a co-sponsor. No. You can't say, well, I don't know if she's objecting to that. She's the co-sponsor of the bill. Obviously, she supports that piece of the legislation on lynching.
Well, outside of the performance that you just showed us, I don't know what she's objecting to about the bill.
Actually,
because there are many things in the bill, as they talk about many bipartisan efforts in the bill.
So you didn't do any research?
There's no funding associated with the tracking.
Amisha, go ahead.
Yeah, she's also objecting to the tracking, because that tracking piece that's supposed to be there to help to provide accountability for police officers, the federal government is not funding at all. So within that, they used it as a sticker point just to check off a box, but there is no additional funding that is coming out of the Fed to actually support or acknowledge this. And we know that even with the chokehold piece that is there, it only applies if the chokehold is something that the officer believes was necessary. In every case of a chokehold, the officer has said that it was necessary. So she is actually dwelling down and taking apart the pieces that she knows do not work.
Brittany,
one second. That's what I'm saying.
1 second.
In that performance that she gave
Okay,
us,
first of all, Malik, first of all, in her floor speech, it doesn't cover all those issues. That's why you do the research. She's actually spoken about this on her Twitter. Excuse me. I'm not done. I am not done. Maybe you produce your own show. If you go to her Twitter feed, you can actually do your own research. Brittany, let me go to you, Brittany. Let me go to you. Brittany, I'm going to ask you the same question. I'm going to ask you the same question, Brittany. I'm going to ask you the same question, Brittany, and that is this here. The reason you have committees is to have the back and forth to offer amendments to actually bolster the bill before it actually goes to the floor.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. And we know that's why Kamala is fighting the way that she is for these issues. She knows, and Amisha made some excellent points earlier, just talking about the various, points of the bill that are problematic that we know aren't going to actually lead to any real systemic change within the African-American community and their relationship with policing. And I think, the idea that even have these conversations behind closed doors is absolutely ridiculous because we're talking about people's lives at the end of the day.
All right, folks, back to our Road Mark Unfiltered video in just one moment. Have those headphones we showed you, plus that virtual reality headset. This is a 360-degree 4D headphones. Amazing sound, folks. If you want to actually get these, all you got to do is simply go to seek.com, CEEK.com, and then you can use the promo code right there. It says RMVIP2020, RMVIP2020. A sister, she actually created that, Mary Spiel. She is the creator of this, and so just go to seek.com, use the promo code RMVIP2020, RMVIP2020.